Welcome to the Competitor's Classroom. My name is Mackenzie, and I am a competitor. For the first 22 years of my life, I competed on a softball field. Today, I'm still competing, but now, my teammates, they don't wear uniforms. Today, my teammates, they're my soon-to-be husband, my mom and my dad, my little brothers, the teenage girls who train and who pitch with me, all of you out there who look to me for guidance. Back then, as an athlete, I wanted to be the best that I could because I knew that if I was giving my all, my team was benefiting. Today, I believe the same thing. I go out every day and show up competing to be the best version of myself possible so that you, my teammates, know that I have your back, that if I'm giving it my all, then I know that you're benefiting from it too. I want to start my podcast out by sharing a fear because I think that breaks the barrier a little bit between us. Because to be completely honest, I am scared to death sitting right here recording this. I'm not even lying. I have all of my notes written on my arm after I wrote about 5 rough drafts that I've been working on since the last podcast that I posted last week. I just ran down the street and back before I started because I thought maybe that would pump me up a little bit, get me ready for game time. And now I am sitting down, not even in my office where I thought I was going to record it, at my back patio, just trying to get this right. Because I've always been afraid to fail. Because I'm competing for you guys. I am so afraid that if I mess up, if I say the wrong thing, if I offend somebody, then I'm going to let my team down. But I think I've been lying to myself all of these years, that none of that actually matters, that showing up and facing my fear, speaking on this podcast, is going to be enough to catapult you into action. Or that's what I'm hoping, and that is what I'm doing for you guys. So listen, when I used to push myself in every line drill, every deadlift, every hitting session, or every pitching workout, it was because I wanted to be the best leader that I could. I couldn't ask my teammates to do something that I wasn't. I couldn't tell them to push harder, hit more, complain less, if I wasn't showing up every day and competing my butt off to be the best that I could be. If I wasn't doing that, then they were suffering. Every single one of those things were scary, and they were a struggle, but I did it for them. And now this right now is that same fear in a different stage in my life. I'm stepping up to the line drill, and I'm going to give it my best effort because at the end of the day, now all of you guys know I have your back. So even though I think back to my days as an athlete and I'm proud of the leader that I was, I can't lie to you guys. I feel like there was more. There was more that I could have given. And to all of you right now rolling your eyes at me, this is for you. For all those people who kept telling me, you're not giving yourself enough credit. I want to prove you wrong because I felt that way because there was absolutely more that I could have been giving. I will cut myself a break and say that I didn't know any better. No one ever taught me in a way that I could understand that I needed to show up and be more authentic and let my voice be heard. And because nobody ever said that to me, I just went through what I thought was me being the best leader that I could. Now, how do you earn the right to admit to yourself that you gave yourself enough credit, right? How do you earn the title in sport? You know what you do? You go off and you go out and compete your butt off every single day, and that is what I'm doing right now. There's still so much that I want to uncover, But I just know that there is more out there. And right now, I am pushing for it, and it is scary. But I want you to know that whatever fear you're facing right now, however scary that might feel, I'm pushing for you so you can understand that it can be done. Now, on top of when people used to tell me that you're just not giving yourself enough credit, I feel like that goes right along with how coaches used to tell me, you have so much potential. Okay, let me take a second to express my disgust at this. When people would tell me, you have so much potential, and then follow that up with, you're going to go ahead and sit on the bench during this game, I literally wanted to shake somebody because I couldn't figure out why nobody could tell me how to unlock all this quote unquote potential I had inside of me. I still can't even speak words to it, but all I know, this is what I believe in this moment, is that the people who told me that I have so much potential and then couldn't teach me to get it out are the ones who had the potential inside of them and they couldn't get it out. I believe it's the lazy person's excuse for not pushing themselves enough. And just stay with me for a second and let me explain. I found myself in the last 2 years since I've been done being an athlete, and now that I'm coaching, telling my girls, you have so much potential, keep working hard. Okay, crazy lady, if you're telling me I have all this potential, like, how do I get there, right? And honestly, for the last 2 years, I've struggled, and I would say it to girls, and I think deep down, I knew I could do more, and people were telling me, you're not giving yourself enough credit, and here I am saying, you know what? I wasn't giving enough effort. I wasn't not giving enough credit to myself. I wasn't out there pushing to my next big scary thing. Right now, I have a couple of girls who I think can throw over 70 miles an hour. But who am I to tell them you can do it if I've never gone out and done it myself? Or I've never gone out and pushed to that really big, scary thing. My whole life, I've been challenging people. I question people. I talk a lot. But I really freaking care. I really care about the person sitting across from me, and that's why I challenge them. As an athlete, a lot of times my teammates would accept my challenge and then they'd push themselves. In the last 2 years, I have been so sick and tired of people stepping out, saying, no, thank you, I don't want to accept your challenge, and going on with their lives. Those people that I was saying that to, I saw the potential in. Those are the people that I was saying, go out and work hard, I'm challenging you, but they were letting me down. And now I understand it's because I've been letting myself down, because I haven't been pushing to do that next really big and scary thing in my life. So I'm tired of the excuses. I'm ready to make a change in my life. And through other people denying me over and over again, I finally see the truth. And this is a real life story that I'm living through right now of really the reason I'm thankful for this little girl who taught me that I need to unlock my potential. And it's a story about homecoming. So I've known this little girl my whole life. And in the last 5 to 6 months, I've really gotten to know her better on a more personal level. She's been training with me and she pitches with me. And she is the bubbliest, funnest little thing in the whole world. She's got such a bright future, and I see the potential in her. And that little girl walks into my gym for like the last month, and I always love to ask the girls about homecoming because I remember how exciting that was at the time. And I want to know about their dresses. I want to know what's going on. And this little girl will tell me all the time, I don't want to go. I'm really scared. And everybody giggles and laughs at it, and we all do. She tells us she's afraid to go to the bathroom by herself. But at the end of the day, it's because of what people think about her. She's afraid of that. And I'm listening to her, and honestly, it makes me uncomfortable because I don't know how to help her deal with that. Because right now in my life, I'm complacent. How am I going to be one to tell her, go out there and chase your dreams, if I'm sitting back here with my feet kicked up with a drink in my hand? No, like I can't tell her to go push hard and go be uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, you're going to grow and become a stronger person because of it if I'm not doing the work. It was that situation that made me realize I needed to step it up. Because you know what? I wasn't giving myself enough credit because I wasn't stepping up and I wasn't giving the effort. I had the potential in me, just like this little girl has the potential in her. And I care so deeply about her and all of you. I just want her to understand that she doesn't have to be afraid. So a little while ago, actually 3 days ago, let me say that, I decided that I'm going to run a marathon because I'm like, all right, if I'm going to prove to her that I can do something, what is it? I was thinking really hard. I trained all summer for a half marathon, and I never did it. And I keep running. I'm a big runner. And I know how much I love running because it literally unlocks my potential. Every time I get done, I feel freaking awesome. And it came to me. I'm like, oh, my God, I have to sign up for a marathon. And I have to do it for her. And I have to do it for every single fear that somebody holds, thinks that they can't do something. I need to go out there and run 26 miles, no matter how bad it freaking sucks. No matter how bad I want to quit, I know when I cross that finish line, I'm going to feel like I can take over the world. That's what I always say. I feel like I can take on the world right now. So I'm not doing this for me, right? I'm competing to be the best version of myself because that little girl's on my team. And by pushing myself to get better, she's going to get better because of it. Because you know what she did after she saw my post on Facebook that I decided to run this marathon for her? She texted me and she told me that she was going to go look for her dress. Now, I'm not saying that she went to homecoming, and I'm not saying that she's even bought her dress. It was just the thought that somebody else is out there working for her, doing something for her, that she was going to get the courage to go out and compete for me and maybe compete for her little sister and for all those little girls who are going to look up to her one day. And that's where this all comes from, guys. This isn't me saying I'm running a marathon because I want this for myself. That is not it. I have never been that person. I lead from a place that I am being the best version of myself, and I haven't been for a long time. I have been selling myself short, and I am no longer doing that because the stakes are so much higher now. It's not just about me anymore. It's about these little girls who have futures ahead of them. It's for anybody at that stage in their life where they feel stuck, not just for the athletes. Because you know what? This is for the 9-year-old girl that trains with me and wears her compete bracelet every day that I gave her. I want her to know that she can do anything. I don't think that she has to live through, I call it like the suffocation stage of my life, because things are supposed to be hard. They're supposed to be a struggle, but they're not supposed to be suffocatingly difficult. And I have been there. And I think that can relate to anybody. Like my mom, nothing makes me want to take that lady out more than when she looks at me and flashes the big old 5'2" on her hand when I tell her to get down and do some push-ups in the gym. She is not, like that is not what defines you. What defines you is your ability to step up and conquer your fears, right? This marathon and this podcast right now are my life, the two biggest fears that I have. Putting my voice out there and being afraid to fail. But I am doing it anyways because I know that it's going to make somebody else stronger. And if I can push through to the end just this one time, that somebody else other than me is going to benefit. I am competing for the people on my team. man, this is just so much more than what we all chalk it up to be. So one last thing that I want to add in, that I think this goes back to the you're not giving yourself enough credit. I want to tell a story about another girl that I see so much freaking potential in a way that I'm trying to teach her to see the light in herself. So again, I see this girl every week. She's incredible. She's a pitcher. She can literally move mountains if she wants to. And I need to figure out a way. It is my mission to figure out a way to get her where I know she can go. And I've been doing this exercise with my pitchers lately where they have to throw a series of like 5 to 10 pitches. And at the end of every pitch, they have to tell me what their effort was. They have to rate their effort on a scale of 1 to 10. And our goal is always to be 8, 9, or 10. We always want to be giving that exceptional effort. I think I learned that from Urban Meyer's book, and it above the line, and it probably even came from something else. But this was just last night. I turn my back to the catcher, I look at her, and I say, do your thing, because you're going to rate your effort, and I'm going to rate your effort. So she throws her pitch. She calls it a 7. In my head, I'm like, if she thinks that's a 7, I know she's got more. I'm calling it a 6. And I told her that. I said, okay, I think that was a 6. Second pitch she throws. She threw it, and I said, okay, rate it. She said, probably like a 6. There it was. That was my chance for a lesson. Because why? We were thinking about it the wrong way. I don't want her to lower her score so it meets mine. What is our goal? Our goal is 8, 9, or 10 effort all the time. I don't want her to lower her rating of herself. I want her to up her effort, and that was my lesson, and that is my lesson to you. Quit saying that you're not giving yourself enough credit, and instead up your effort, because you're just selling yourself short like I've been doing all this time. Everybody's been telling me, you're just not giving yourself enough credit. Maybe she should have given herself an 8, 9, or 10, but no. You know what? At least she was honest with herself and say, okay, maybe I can see that and I'm giving a 6. But instead of saying, all right, I'm going to conform to that rating, and if my coach says I'm a 6, maybe I am a 6. No, you are incredible, and you can literally do anything that you want, everything and anything, but you have to set your mind to it. And sometimes that lesson needs to be set. And I had to tell her the story about how yesterday I ran 8 miles for a woman that I love more than anything else. But I didn't just run 8 miles. I ran 9 miles. I went the extra mile. Wow, I didn't even think of that. Kind of funny. Until I did it for her. And I told her that story, and it was incredible. She literally upped her effort because she knew that I was out there competing, not just for this other woman that I was running for that day, but for her. She knows that I'm showing up for her, right? And this isn't just for me and my pitchers and my coaching. This is for the parents and their kids. This is for the athletes and their teammates. This is for the friends in your friend group. This is for anybody who wants to be the example, because sometimes that's how we learn best. All those coaches all those years who told me I had so much potential were literally just speaking words to me. They weren't going out and doing it themselves. I don't think anything negative about them by any means. They were doing the best that they could. And I love every one of my coaches. I have learned so much from all of them. But I know, me personally, I want to give as much as I can to these girls that I work with, to my soon-to-be husband, for my mom and my dad, and for all the people who think that I can't do something. You think I'm not going to finish a marathon? You think I'm not going to pitch 70 miles an hour one day? Because that is one of my goals. I believe that I can't teach my girls to do something that I've never done before. You think that I can't do that? I bet you any money you are sitting in your own fear. You are sitting there thinking that you can't go out and go do something yourself, because you can. I think a lot of times people think we need this big, devastating thing to happen to us for us to get up and to move, right? Like a lot of times people will come down with a serious illness, or someone in their family will, or there'll be a car accident. You don't need that big tragic event to catapult your life. I think I was waiting for that for way too long, and I never got it. You know what my big tragic event was? It was the little girl who didn't want to go to homecoming. And I think that if we open our eyes and we look around enough, we'll see that our teammates are struggling. And they don't need to be struggling with cancer or with something happening in their life. They went through a divorce. Like, I don't think that that's what we need to be looking for. Sometimes it's the small things that create the biggest amounts of change. And for me, this was my small thing that's catapulting me to make change, right? And here's the deal. I don't want to be just another voice. I don't want to just sit here and preach to you guys like I kind of feel like I'm doing right now. Because I never liked that, right? I never wanted people just to tell me what to do. I wanted them to teach me how to do it. So I want to leave you guys with a couple things. For one, by listening to this podcast all the way up until this point, that means that you know you have the potential in you, and I think that that's incredible. You have to recognize it first. That means that you want to be able to get it out. Let me be the coach that I didn't have that can help you pull you into action, right? I always say I want to be the person that I wish I had growing up. Not that I'm not thankful for where I came from, because I am. I came from an incredible life. I came from incredible parents and coaches and a family who I have a future husband who's taught so much about life, and I'm so grateful for that, guys. I want to share that with you from the bottom of my heart. And like I was saying, by listening all the way up into this podcast, I need you to know that I'm fighting for you. And if you listen to this point, that means you're on my team. And I want you to know that I am fighting for you. And if that means that we're out on that line drill, like you're on my team back in softball, and I'm pushing myself as hard as I can, and you look over at me, that means that you know you got to up your game, and you do. So right now, look over at that line drill, see that I'm busting my butt to make this team better, to make this world a better place, and let that be your catapult. Let that be that little small thing that you need to start moving your life. Because I promise you, you don't have to live a mediocre life. You can do incredible things, and I believe that from the bottom of my heart. So, like I said, let's get some action going. I want you guys to write some things down and send them to me. I am running this marathon for the little girl who might be afraid to go to homecoming. But I'm also running it for the girl who wants to go play softball for Florida one day. The 7th grader who told me she wants to influence people. Maybe she's a 6th grader. For the girl who told me she's afraid to go on a diet because I know that that means she's afraid to be the best version of herself. This is for my parents who I know have fears, who can't speak them out loud, who tell me that their biggest fear is that I won't accomplish my dreams one day. And that literally makes me want to cry, because I know that that's not true, because I am going to accomplish my dreams one day. And it's going to be for him, so he can realize that I need him to accomplish his dream, and I need my mom to accomplish her dream, so we all can keep being better and competing for one another. So write down that big, scary thing, that thing that you're dreaming of, that you want to accomplish one day. The way I think of it is the thing that you're procrastinating. What's the thing that you're putting off that you know you should do? I learned that from a book I was reading, You Are a Badass. And it forces you to think about, what are you putting off for so long? Because I was putting off that marathon, and now I have 1 month to prepare for it. Did I share that earlier? Yeah. 1 month to prepare for it. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out there and bust my butt. But it wasn't until I just did it and I set the date that it forced me to start working hard towards it. So anyways, what is your fear? Let's figure that out. And then the second thing I want you to do is write down your team. Who are you competing for? All of the people in your life, your family, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your dog, your cat. Sometimes I think I'm competing for the game of softball, so it doesn't even have to be a person. Who are you competing for? I want to know your fear and why you're competing every day to be the best that you can. Because I am here right now competing for all those people afraid to chase their dreams. I want to prove to all those people that they can do anything that they set their mind to. So guys, please know from the bottom of my heart that I'm out here competing for you. Go out and compete for me and compete for the people on your guys' team. Love y'all so much. I'm out.